You deserved everything you got. This is a union city.
That is a Philadelphia tradition.
Seize the means of podcasting.
Oh God, the boss has crushed us.
Let me tell you one thing else.
In oldie-timey times.
The pleasure of the flesh is in solidarity.
We will not raw dog reality for that one.
It's going to be wholly unprofessional.
The Scab Buster.
What have we become?
Eat together strong. Let that be your mantra.
Solidarity. Solidarity forever.
Hello and welcome to the Labor Zone Podcast, where we skip to the loo, to the working class history of Philadelphia and the surrounding world. My name is Sam James. I'm the host of the co, the host, the co, the coast, the coast, the coast of the host. And I am joined today and forever until my dying day and when I get reincarnated as a small shrimp and then get eaten by a big fat guy named George at the Talamahoo restaurant in Kansas City, Missouri.
Thank you, my darling. I'm Gabe Christie.
And today, you listener, and I, co-host, speaker, snail aficionado, lover of all things plaid, skee ball tournament champion of the world, 1927 to 1929, and just all-around smiley guy, Sam, will listen and learn about.
I don't know if we're going to have time to get through this episode after that introduction, but I was planning on talking about the 1938 department store warehouse workers strike.
Okay, all right, so departmentalize the episode, Gabe.
Quite. So we've talked a lot about the Great Depression already. I'm not going to explain it again.
Please, can we go back into the Great Depression?
No.
Point by point?
No.
Step by step? Year by year?
It was pretty great. So we're talking about department store warehouse workers.
Okay.
Who went on strike in 1938. But let's talk about the department stores that they were striking against first. There were 4 major department stores in the city. And I want to give a very brief overview of each one. Mostly because most of these buildings are still standing, and it's cool to learn the history of them.
It is.
So Litt Brothers, they were founded in 1891 by Rachel Litt. She did bring in her 2 brothers, who seem to have taken over the store from her, unfortunately, and expanded it into one of the largest retailers in the entire city. In the 30s, it continued as like a moderately priced department store. It's kind of like if you think about like a Kohl's.
Okay.
Slightly above Walmart, slightly below Macy's.
Okay.
Like,
That's Cole's territory. It's Cole's territory.
Yeah, so that was Litt Brothers. One of the other stores was Gimbel's.
Gimbals, okay. No Gimbals.
Came to Philly in 1893 with a new flagship store in the city at 9th and Market. It eventually expanded all the way to 8th and then south to Chestnut. So the entire block
was a Gimbals.
Was Gimbals, which is insane. It was, and by the 1930s, Gimbals was actually the largest department store chain in the world.
Yeah. I think they started in New York, right?
Yeah.
That was where their headquarters was, at least.
Yep. Then we have Strawbridge and Clothiers.
Okay.
Which was founded in Philly in 1868. Had its flagship store at the northwest corner of 8th and Market, which was directly opposite Litt and Gimbals. And they were one of the first to expand into the suburbs, where they built retail chains, I think, in Ardmore and Jenkintown.
Okay.
So they also almost went bankrupt in the 30s because they wanted to put a marble facade on their building.
Okay.
So if you go to 8th and Market, the building still stands and it still has like this beautiful marble facade on it.
But it's not a Strawbridge's anymore.
No. But the company almost went bankrupt by 1931.
Yeah.
Trying to do that. Because they started that project in 1928. And then the next year the stock market crashed. So then The next we have is Snellenberg's, which is my favorite name.
Snellenberg's. That didn't survive?
Surprisingly not. So they were founded in 1869 and had a clothing factory in the city as well.
Okay.
So they really had a solid grasp of all sides of the production line.
Except naming your business.
Yeah. And they had a flagship store at 12th and Market. So they were like 3 blocks away from everybody else out in the hinterlands. We should also point out that retail in the 30s was a little bit different than retail today. Namely, you could make a little bit more money at it in the 30s than you would today. You could have like a semi-respectable career working in retail.
Imagine that.
Yeah. The warehouse workers were not treated that well.
Oh, no.
So on the 12th of April, 1938, warehouse workers organized with the Storage Warehouse Employees Union Local 18,571.
What the flying goddamn fuck?
Yeah. They sent a list of demands to management at all 4 department stores.
At a certain point, you just have to like put on your pin local number X.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So these workers loaded or moved goods around the warehouse, loaded the trucks, unloaded shipments, and then sorted and stored everything. So basically, without them, the whole the whole distribution system fell apart pretty quickly. So the demands that they were putting forward were workers making over $21 a week would get a $2 raise.
Okay.
In today's money, that's $435 a week with a $41 raise, which comes to about like $435 is, I think, a little over or around $11 an hour.
Your math skills are impeccable. So
then for workers making under $21 a week, they wanted a $3 raise, which was $62 a week.
Okay.
So yeah, basically they were fighting for like they wanted everyone to be at least around $12 an hour or like 11 or $12 an hour. They also wanted, if you want to talk about how we haven't actually progressed as a society.
Not progressed,
then they also wanted union shops. So everyone in the shop had to be in the union. And they wanted to reduce the work week to 42 hours.
I can't wait for none of this to happen.
Yeah. So the management said, I wish we could, but market forces and this new federal tax just means we can't afford it.
You're right. It's the federal tax.
Yeah.
Silly of us to ask for a living wage.
Yeah.
We apologize. We'll get back to work right away.
Yeah. So the workers didn't like that response. And I will admit to the companies, there was a decrease in sales from last year, or from 1937 to 1938. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't give your workers a living wage. So
But we didn't sell a quota of khakis this year.
I know.
Did you see the quarterly reports, Gabe?
Well, you had an improper cover sheet on your TPS report. So did you read the memo?
I did read the memo. I did. I fixed it.
I'll send you the memo.
I sent it back to you.
I'll send you the memo.
No, I understood the memo. I got it.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It's already fixed. And they had me by the window, and I could see the squirrels, and they were married, and I had this new swing line stapler that I loved, and they took it away from me. And
management was also making the case that the real goal should be to standardize wages across all 4 stores. I think that was probably either a red herring or they wanted to lower wages across all stores.
What would you do if you were management in your stores? Would you give them more money? would you lower the wages? If I was in their place and I had no soul, what would I do?
Obviously, the workers didn't really like any of this. So on the 12th of April, 275 workers at 3 warehouses for Gimbels and Strawbridge and Clothiers walked out. By noon, 200 more from Snellenberg
No!
had walked out. And then by the end of the day, 460 from Lit Brothers walked out.
I liked it better when your sister was in charge, motherfucker.
So by the end of the 12th of April, there were 935 workers on strike. Almost immediately, the Pennsylvania State Department of Labor stepped in to try and arbitrate the dispute. And they sent in Charles Kutz, who was the state mediator. And he was supposed to start arbitration between the union and management. The next day, Teamsters from Local 107 refused to cross...
Don't you mean Local 1,737,702?
Yep, we're multiplying all union local numbers by 10.
By pi.
Yeah. So Teamsters from Local 107 refused to cross the picket line. And so now, not only was nothing getting stacked and nothing was getting loaded at the warehouses, trucks weren't delivering to the warehouses, and trucks weren't picking up from the warehouses. And when I first wrote this script, it didn't occur to me that also meant that they weren't doing home deliveries.
Oh, they were doing they were doing next day prime shipping back then too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how about that?
Not quite next day, but yes. They were doing a lot of mail order stuff. The stores kind of realized that, this is going to be a problem.
We need products to sell to people to make money.
We should fix this. And the workers realized, we can get solidarity and support from each other and put more pressure on our bosses and win this. Of course, also, this is where I should point out that most of this information is coming from the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is a wholly unbiased source that actively ran advertisements for every single one of these department stores.
They had a whole page ad of Strawbridges on the next page, didn't they?
At one point, they literally have a column talking about the strike next to an ad for Gimbels.
Oh my god. Get your moccasins and suspenders here at Gimbels.
Yeah.
$39.95.
That would be expensive suspenders.
Gabe, do not dissect my jokes about 1938 era suspenders, okay?
It's like a week and a half wages.
They're making a cowhide. What do you expect?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we're talking
Okay.
about. What are we talking about?
We're talking...
You're the one who questioned me on suspender prices. And I just snapped back.
It's fair. So the stores... so anyway, I mentioned the Inquirer. I had to skip over a lot of their reporting on this, because most of their reporting was basically just direct press releases from management.
This is literally the 3rd episode you've done from a newspaper source.
Yeah.
That was sponsored by the company that the worker was conducting a strike against, Gabe.
Yep.
Do we need to have an intervention? A class consciousness intervention,
I think,
on your part here.
No, I just know how to read through what the bosses are saying.
All right.
So because the stores were putting out all of these messages being like, well, we're really sorry that we can't deliver to you, but the Teamsters are joining the picket line, and it's sad.
And they're sending up the price of suspenders.
Yeah.
They're $39 now.
It's
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
So then the Teamsters... I will give some credit to the Inquirer. They also posted the Teamsters response. So the Teamsters, the Teamsters responded by saying that, one, their workers that have joined the picket line should still get paid because it's not their fault that management didn't solve the problems with their warehouse workers already, because management knew for 2 months prior that the warehouse workers were demanding this and that a strike was imminent.
Mm-hmm.
So the companies could have solved this problem, but didn't want to.
Yeah.
So the Teamsters were just like, fucking pay your people and deal with it.
And they did.
And eventually, yes.
Yeah.
So then... Oh, yeah. So while the strike was going on, the papers, or the Inquirer, also kept printing letters to the editor about how this strike was making life so much more difficult for everyone because it was the Easter season, or the Easter gift buying season. So they were very upset about that. And it was like once a week there was a letter or an editorial piece being like, I understand that you want to eat, but you're inconveniencing me, so stop it.
There's 999 letters supporting the workers, but there's that one was like, a little old grandma was like, oh, my little granddaughter can buy her dress. She looks so cute in church.
And that one letter from the little old grandmother was conveniently delivered by a lawyer representing Gimbel's. But
why is this on Gimbel stationery?
Yeah. Despite all of that nonsense from the Inquirer, the strike actually grew. So by the third day, 80 retail clerks walked out of Strawbridge and Clothier, and almost as many from Gimbel's. So you now not only had the more industrial side, you also had the retail side. Okay. The strike was now over 1,000 workers. And also wasn't just Teamsters joining in. Taxi drivers, laundry workers, bakers, dairy workers, and railway workers were refusing to cross the picket line.
Damn.
And the railway workers was important because that's how they were getting goods out to the suburban stores. Because all the suburban department stores were built right next to railway stations. So you'd have express shipments bringing clothes out, or bringing goods out to the stores that would then get offloaded. So the railway express workers refused to load their trains.
Man, they got everybody going on here. All right, we'll see what happens. Everything's gonna go good.
Really neat solidarity showing up. So then day 4, there were more requests for arbitration, and representatives from the Building Trades Council agreed to set up a mediation session over that weekend. Day 4 was a Friday, so they wanted to mediate on Saturday and Sunday, and they were like, yeah, we'll have a decision by Monday. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So the warehouse workers had asked the Building Trades Council to not cross the picket line. And Building Trades Council, I should say, is like electricians, carpenters, masons, and I think plumbers were represented, and bricklayers.
Okay.
Were all represented by the BTC. So Building Trades refused and said that they're going to continue to work until every possible method of arbitration had been exhausted.
Well, all in all, they're just another brick in the wall. So.
Hey. But according to the Retail Clerks Union, there was an additional 3,500, or there were an additional 3,500 clerks who had walked out. That's disputed. The company said it was only 300 or 400. Also, that weekend mediation that the BTC had tried to set up never happened.
Okay.
Because it was Easter weekend, so Easter celebrations took precedent.
Jesus.
But the companies then tried to ramp up pressure by publishing a full-page open letter to the workers.
In the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Yes. Or no, they mailed it to the workers, if I remember correctly. And basically, because the president had said that, like, we need to have fewer strikes so that we can get a better recovery from the economic downturn.
Okay.
And yeah. So the companies basically put out this letter being like, you don't want to be mean to the president, do you?
Wow.
You're going to make them all upset if you keep this strike up. So then mediation finally started on Monday, April 18th, which was day 6 of the strike. The companies all said that the strike was threatening the livelihood of not only the workers on strike, but also the community who shopped at the stores and all other workers whose livelihoods were tied to the success of those 4 stores.
I've been wearing these same threadbare suspenders for at least 4 months now.
Yeah.
You need to get back to work.
Exactly. The union responded by saying, that's great, but we need to eat. So
I'm weighing the options here.
Yeah. They also pointed out that the average rent that they were paying was $25 a month. And you're looking at one income. So that's already more than a week's wages gone.
Yeah.
Just to cover rent. And then you have to cover food and everything else.
Man.
Yeah.
Rent now is at least 2 weeks goddamn pay.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's gotten significantly worse, honestly. So then day 11, the federal government stepped in. Yeah. With the representatives from the National Labor Relations Board stepped in to mediate. They also weren't able to reach a solution.
It's good enough for government work.
Yeah. So the reporting in the Inquirer then got really weird for like the next 2 weeks. Because they basically every day they kept reporting that they were about to reach a solution. So like there was a front page article every week, basically being like, "Oh, the end is near. The strike's going to end." Nope. There were, however, some developments while the newspapers were like praying for this strike to end, where elevator operators, pardon me,
Operator elevators, operator elevator.
Sounds like a Kraftwerk song. At Gimbel's, Strawbridge and Clothiers, and Litt Brothers, all of them at all 3 stores were organized under the Elevator Operators and Starters Union Local 69.
Another profound occupation that died by the hands of automation.
Quite so.
The operator elevator.
Yes.
It used to be the elevator operator, now it's the operator elevator.
Yes. So they walked out in solidarity with the warehouse workers. For some reason, it doesn't look like any of the elevator operators from Snellenberg seem to have joined. I don't know why. Also, we need more local 69s.
Works both ways.
Yeah. So then some progress was actually made on May 5th.
When Local 420 came in.
There is actually a Local 420. It's the Steam Fitters in Philly.
It's just a pot calling the kettle black.
Hey. So then some progress.
I'm sorry, I'm getting stuck in the weeds. Continue on.
Shouldn't have fucking said anything.
That's our whole friendship game.
So on May 5th, the Central Labor Union and some other unions who were under pressure from their national organizations organized another conference to determine an amicable solution. So this was basically labor getting together and being like, all right, let's sit down and figure out a way to end this.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we actually need to end this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that organization finally got to sit down with management And the strike was settled on May 10th, 1938, almost exactly 1 month from when it started. But it's really frustrating because both parties decided to not disclose the points of their decision. So I don't know what their victories were or losses.
Okay.
It's really annoying.
Oh, yeah. To every fucking listener who's this episode, Gabe.
So judging from the descriptions of people's response to the end of arbitration.
Okay. Yeah, the little old grandma wrote into the Philadelphia Inquirer again.
Well, no, this was the descriptions of, like, the union reps. The Inquirer at least said everyone looked happy. But they weren't saying, like, the union reps walked out downtrodden and beaten. So, which I feel like the Inquirer would probably take some revelry in that if it looked like a defeat for labor. So, but I'd also say I think it's likely that the union did get some good gains. They might not have gotten everything, but they probably got some good gains out of this because they had shown so much solidarity and had shown that they were not going to fucking back down.
Yeah.
So I think the management was on the back foot by this point. So I think they probably won some stuff. I don't know. They didn't disclose it. But that's not actually the end of the story yet. It keeps going. So the clerks at Gimbel's, Snellenberg's, or Gimbel's and Snellenberg's returned to work on Wednesday without any issue. But the clerks at Litt Brothers and Strawbridge and Clothiers were told that they couldn't all be let back at once. So they were saying, like, we'll slowly fire all of the scabs that we hired, and then you can apply for your job again.
Okay.
So the clerks immediately voted for a walkout.
Jesus God.
Established a picket line, and pretty quickly, all 4 of the stores were on strike again.
Oh no! When will this episode end?
And then the warehousemen also voted for a strike in solidarity with all of the clerks.
I literally hate you, Gabe.
So yeah, they everyone just got back to work, and they was like, nope, on strike again. But the next day, the companies relented and agreed to hire everyone back on to the jobs that they had before April 11th. So the job you had before the strike started.
Okay.
So Direct Action got the goods.
Took some goddamn time. But
yeah.
Okay.
And that's also why I think the union probably got some good wins, because the company immediately relented when the strike came back.
Yeah.
So they were scared.
Yeah. I was fucking scared.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't do another 40 minutes, Gabe.
Yeah, so it was cool to read through that, and it was like reading through the stories in the Inquirer. One was you had to work through a lot of bias, but
yeah,
it still kind of read as like almost a sort of an action adventure-y sort of story, as much as they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun. It's neat to see that kind of solidarity too. Hey, this is Gabe, and thanks for listening to the Labor Jawn podcast. So for now, we live in a system called capitalism. And under this system, you have to exchange currency for goods and or services. And to that end, Sam and I put a lot of time, effort, and a fair chunk of our own money into keeping this podcast available and generally free. And if you'd like to help support us doing that, you can give us some money at patreon.com/laborjawn. And if you choose to do so, we'll give you a fancy button every year, some cool merch, and an extra episode once a month, whenever possible, because life is hard, because capitalism. Anyway, we'd really appreciate your support if you've got a few bucks to spare. Also, if you happen to be a member of a union and you want your fellow union members to learn about local labor history, we do commission work like presentations, pamphlets, that kind of stuff. So if that sounds cool, you can shoot us an email at laborjohn@gmail.com or contact us through laborjohn.com or message us on social media or whatever's most convenient for you. But if that sounds interesting, feel free to reach out. And anyway, thanks for listening. Solidarity. Have fun.